Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to our channel. Today we'll be talking about sentence. What is a sentence? A sentence can be defined as a word or a group of words that has number one, a finite verb. Number two is a word or a group of words that can be divided into subject and predicates. Number three, it's also a word that has semantics and syntactic cohesion. Number four is a word that expresses a complete thought. And lastly, as some textbook will have it, is a group of words or a word that starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. Now let's look at the parameters through which all this definition is taken. We said a sentence is a word or a group of words that has a finite verb. What is a finite verb? A finite verb is a kind of verb that is limited to the subject in number, gender, and in tense. Let's look at example when the finite verb is limited to the subject in number. Example, there are three girls in the room. You cannot say there is three girls. So he has been able to agree in number. That is following some of the rules of Concord. When you have a singular verb, you have a singular subject. Let's look at it when it agrees in tense. Tense simply means time. The time an event takes place, which is the present, took place, which is the past, and will take place in the future. So, the tense must also agree with the subject. For example, I came today. I came today. That means I came when we are having something that is the present perfect tense. But you cannot say, I will came tomorrow. You can't say that. Now let's look at how it agrees in gender. It agrees in gender when we look at the conjugations of the personal pronouns. That's why we say, I do, you do, he or she does. You say, I dance, you dance, he or she dances. I give, you give, he or she gives. You cannot say, she gave me the money yesterday. You rather say, she gave me the money. But if you want to use it in present tense, you say, she gives money to beggars every day. Not she give money to beggars. That's quite wrong. Number two is a word or a group of words that is divided into subject and predicate. And as earlier instructed, we know that a subject refers to the doer of the action in a sentence, while the predicate is the remaining of the sentence minus the subject. For example, the boy was sleeping in the room. The boy is referred to as the subject because he is the doer, while is sleeping in the room refers to the predicate. Number three, we say it's a group of words that can be divided into syntactic and semantic cohesion. Semantics simply refers to meaning, while syntactic simply refers to formation. That means there have to be an agreement between how the words are formed and the meaning. You can structurally make up some sentences, but they are grammatically not correct when it comes to their meaning. That's what we mean by semantic and syntactic cohesion. That means the meaning has to agree with the structure. For example, the boy is here. It makes sense. And the structure of everything we have, the words, also makes sense. The boy, the subject, is, which is the verb, and in present tense, here, which is also an adverb, is here. It makes sense. You cannot say the boy are here. It's impossible. You have to make sure that whatever sentence you're constructing agrees with the meaning. She give money to the poor every day. It's wrong because the verb did not agree. It's also, to some people, will be able to analyze concord in this context. So, whatever you're structuring must also agree with meaning. It is also a word that expresses a complete thought. That means your idea that you're communicating must be heard and must be something meaningful. You cannot communicate something that is wrong or something that the your recipient is finding difficult to understand. That means whatever you are having, a sentence is a group of words that makes sense. Lastly, is a group of words that starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. Now, some of the textbooks we are having, we agree with this totally, but it is not necessary that it ends with a full stop. It can end with a question mark. It can end with exclamation mark and the likes. Now, we also analyze something at the beginning of this class when we say a sentence can be a word. Yes, it can be a word. Let's analyze how a sentence can be a word. For example, in a class where you are teaching English and everybody is making noise, you stood up and look at all of them and you say, stand. Just one word. And all of them are bound to obey because they were disturbing and you wanted to punish them. Looking at them, you have been able to imply. That means add a subject to the verb stand. It can be you stand, like maybe you're looking at Shade and say Shade, but not saying her name, stand. Or you're looking at the boy, or you're looking at all of them, you say stand. Or you come to a class and you tell them kneel. Or you look at somebody and you say come. The person comes to you without you saying Shade come, without you saying you come. That means a sentence can also be a word. Thank you. In our next class, we'll be looking at types of sentences. We'll be looking at more examples of sentences. And we'll be looking at the functions of sentences. Thank you. Please do well to follow our YouTube channel and like at Crystal Edo. And also you can follow us on Instagram for your daily quotes on motivations and things alike.